everyone that thinks that Rabbi Nachman of Breslov was like Chas v'Shalom, like some of the Care Bear rabbis today that don't say a single word, should read his actual book and see what he actually says. In Likutei Ma'aran, he first starts saying is that Misha mishtadel tamid lekerev bnei adam le'avodat Hashem yitbarach tzarich lishmor et atzmo שלא יאחזו בו הקליפות והרעש של אלו בני אדם. It says anyone that does Kiruv, whether you're doing it as a public speaker or you're trying to help your community in a different way, or you're a rabbi or you're not a rabbi, it doesn't make a difference. People that are constantly involved in Kiruv need to protect themselves. From who? He has to protect themselves so the klipot, the negative traits, negative actions, negative aspects, some aspect obviously of Kabbalah issues in regards to the sins that manipulate the behavior of certain people, that those things, those sinners do not affect you. Those klipot don't affect you. Yes, you're supposed to get them to do tshuva, but don't befriend them to the point where they come to your house every Shabbat. Don't befriend them to the point where you're going to the bar with them because you're trying to help them do tshuva. Don't host a Super Bowl party. That's not how we do Kiruv. והיכל הקודש הזה מושב את עצמו תמיד לשורשו, אינו לליבו של עושהו, כי שם שורשו, כי מחמת הדברים שיצאו מעומק ליבו של האיש הכשר נכנסו בליבם וחזרו להשם יתברך. He says the person that is doing Kiruv is called like a Echal HaKodesh. He's like a vessel of holiness. He's a vessel of holiness that brings on himself things, and by naturally, Moshech et atzmo tamid lesharsho. If he's really a vessel of holiness, he is constantly looking for ways to connect further and further to the root. What's the root? Hashem Yitbarach. So he has to protect himself. This is a holy thing. So how does he do Kiruv? כי מחמת הדברים שיצאו מעומק ליבו של האיש הכשר נכנסו בליבם וחזרו להשם. He says if he says things from his heart, the truth from his heart, not what they want to hear. The truth. What did Hashem say? Yeah, it's going to hurt. Yeah, it's going to bother them. Yeah, she's wearing this. Yeah, he's wearing that. Yeah, he's going out with the goya. Yeah, they have to get it. Yeah, it's going to hurt. But it's the truth. He says it from his heart. V'me'omek libo, from the depth of his heart, of this kosher person. He's a kosher person. This is going to go to their heart, and they're going to do tshuva. If it's coming from his heart, meaning, mamash, he's telling the truth, and he's not destroying it with his own opinion, it'll reach their heart, and they will come back to Hashem Yitbarach. This was in Likutei Ma'aran, Nun Tet, 59 Aleph. If you continue to Vav, Nun Tet Vav, is another thing that Rabbi Nachman of Breslov wants to tell us. Something that most people in Breslov today probably don't even know. Because according to many people that are fake Breslovers, they don't know that there is such a thing called Reshaim. Because any time that I mention Reshaim in my lectures, they immediately start cringing. Like, whoa, who are we to say that there's wicked people in the world? It's not nice. You know, everyone's tzaddik. We're all the sons and daughters of Hashem. How can you call them Reshaim? Okay, let's see what your rabbi says. Let's see what the Kodeshim of Rabbi Nachman actually said himself. In Likutei Ma'aran, same one, Vav, 6, 59, 6. Veda, no, שיש כמה רשעים שאסור לקרבם תחת כנפי עבודתו. There are some wicked people, there's some reshaim, they're so wicked, you're not even allowed to actually get close to them to help them do kiruv, to help them do tshuva. They're so wicked, don't even help them. Your only job with them is to stay away from them. What? Not only are they reshaim, Rabbi Nachman of Breslov is telling us Not only are some people are Reshaim in the world, but some are such Reshaim, it's like the Rambam says in Ilchot Tshuva, you're not even allowed to help them do Tshuva. Why? Ki hem moridim et hamekarva midargato. Because they bring down the person that is trying to help them do Tshuva. He's telling them, let's keep Shabbat. Why don't you come to my house? The guy says, you know what, let's go to the bar and talk about it. He says, yo, you know, let's go to Beit Knesset. He goes, oh, you know what, let's go to Starbucks first. Non-kosher operation with a bunch of Jews that attended for some reason. One of my students asked me, did Starbucks put their tools in mikveh? I said, no. He goes, so how come the rabbi goes there all the time? Not me. There's another rabbi. I said, I don't know. You have to ask him. Where do we see this? Rabbi Nachman says, we saw this with Moshe Rabbeinu himself, who did Kiruv with the Erev Rav, the Egyptians that were fake converts. He brought them to join Am Yisrael, ואחר כך על ידי זה אמר לו הקדוש ברוך הוא, לך רד כי שיחת עמך. In the book of Exodus 32, Hashem Yitbarach says, go down, meaning go down from Mount Sinai, go to your nation, who became despicable. Why does he say your nation, Moshe? Isn't it Hashem's nation? He goes, no, it's Moshe's nation. It's the Erev Rav that sinned. It's the Erev Rav, it's the fake converts that sin. I didn't tell you to do Kiruv with them. I didn't tell you to do Kiruv with the guys that are going to, missionaries. I didn't tell you to go make the missionaries into Jews. I didn't tell you to do that. Ven kor b'mishpat le'achni'a hara shelahem. There's no power in the world to actually bring them down. Some people are so wicked that they've become machtia rabim. Once they've gone to the point where they cause other people to sin, there's no power to destroy their wickedness. What does it mean? They can't do tshuva? Yes, they can, but on their own. You cannot help them. You are not allowed to help them. Azai ba kilkul gadol. This causes a lot of destruction. If we continue, Rabbi Nachman of Breslov continues in the Kutei Maharan. On Samech Zayin. וכשעוסק לעורר בני אדם הוא צריך לשמור עצמו מתלמידים שאינם הגונים. A person that deals with teaching the public to wake them up needs to preserve themselves from talmidim, from students that are not fair. כדי שלא יהיה נדבק בו מערה שלהם, so he doesn't get affected by their wickedness. שלא יזיק לו, so he doesn't destroy himself and hurt himself. כמו שאמרו רבותינו זיכרונם לברכה, כל המלמד את תלמיד שאינו הגון. Our sages have said that a person is not allowed, in Masechet Chulin, page 133, a person is not allowed to teach an unfair student. What's an unfair student? Instead of learning your Torah, he's looking for ways to manipulate it. He's looking to learn the Torah in order to manipulate it. There are different types of people that learn Torah. There's a certain type of person, ideally, he learns Torah because he wants to honor Hashem. That's the highest level, even without a reward. Then there's a person that learns Torah because he just simply wants a reward. He wants Hashem to give him olam haba, he wants money, he wants this, he wants that. And the Gemara says this is lo lishma, but makom shelo lishma, ba lishma. Even though this is not for the sake of heaven, he's not learning for the sake of heaven, he's learning for the sake of a reward, he's learning for the sake of money. But still, even if someone starts that way, eventually he'll end up doing good and learning Torah also for the sake of heaven. But then there's such a student that wants to learn only to find the rabbi's mistakes, only to find ways that he can manipulate the Torah by looking for the gray area constantly, looking for the difficulties, looking for the machloket, looking for the debates, looking for the places where the rabbi may not be an expert. On him it is written in our Gemara, it was better for Hashem to suffocate him inside his mother's uterus than for him to come to the world and learn Torah in order to look for mistakes and manipulations. Such a person is not a Talmid Agun, he's not a fair student, you're not allowed to teach him. You're not allowed to do Kiruv with such a person. Yeah, but he's a Jew. Good. Let him be a Jew somewhere else. You're not allowed to put yourself at risk doing Kiruv. What is this like, teaching such a person? The Gemara in Masechet Shabbat, page 108, says, the mitzvah of tefillin is you're obligated to write tefillin on a be'emah, on a kosher animal. On a kosher animal. You can't take the skin of a lion and write tefillin on it, even though it's also leather. You're not allowed to use it. Why? Because there's a verse in the Torah that we learn this halacha from, Leman tiyeh Torat Hashem bepicha, that the Torah of Hashem will be in your mouth. And the sages say from here we learn that just like the Torah is in your mouth, the actual animal that you're using also has to be permissible for you to eat. So to wear the tefillin. Now, Rabbi Nachman of Breslov says that teaching a talmid that's not a kosher talmid, he's not looking for the truth, he's looking for excuses, he's just using you as the way to get the excuses. This is like writing a Sefer Torah or a tefillin on a unkosher animal. Why? Because in essence, when you teach Torah, you're engraving the Torah on his heart, on his neshama. Don't engrave on a non-kosher vessel. So even here, Rabbi Nachman of Breslov says that not only are there Reshaim in the world, there are some people you're simply not even allowed to teach them because they're such unkosher people. Because if you teach a kosher person, Rabbi Nachman says in the Gemara Masechet Sanhedrin, page 99, it says, כמו שאמרו רבותינו זיכרונם לברכה, כל המלמד בין חברות תורה כאילו עשהו. Hashem Yitbarach says, anyone that teaches the son of his friend Torah is like he created him. Such is the significance of helping somebody do tshuva. Such is the significance of teaching kosher Torah. But you have to be careful. Specifically, the people out there that don't know right or left sometimes, and they're just trying to gain fans and YouTube followers. So they try to do things that sound popular. They like to spend their time debating people. Debating Christians, debating heretics, debating atheists, and so on and so forth. No one ever told you that you're allowed to do it, first of all. And second of all, it's a very, very dangerous ground. Why would you do it? These are people that are looking for excuses. They're not looking to agree. This is not a debate for Shamayim. The two sides are debating to win. It's like two lawyers. No one cares what the truth is. Everyone cares to win. Such a debate between a Christian and a Jew is not for Shamayim. And anyone that's really looking for the truth, Baruch Hashem, there's plenty of truth out there. Why are you spending so much time doing it? And that's why I disagree with some of these people that are relatively decent people, in some cases amazing people, but they spend a lot of time debating. For what? What's the purpose? There's 20 million Jews in the world that are not even keeping Shabbat. Why don't you focus on them? Instead of the heretics, instead of the Christians, instead of all the other people. Why don't you focus on them? And Rabbi Nachman of Breslov says there's actually a thing that you need to learn about this. In Torah Samech Dalet, he says the following, V'anachash em elu achachamim le'ara, החוקרים פילוסופיה והאפיקורסות כמו שכתוב בספר ירמיה ד' חכמים הם הלהרע ולהטיב לא ידעו. He says there's a snake in creation. Who's the snake today? Who's the snake? The snake was in Gan Eden. Who's the snake today? The snake today are the wise among the wicked, the philosophers, the atheists, the Darwins of the world, the what's that other guy that debated Sachs? Dawkins of the world, the Yitzchak Shapiro of the world, Imach Shemo v'zichro, all of those heretics, missionaries, the Brown, whatever his name is, Brown Imach Shemo, Michael Brown, all of these missionaries and apikorsim and so on, they are the nachash, they are the serpent, they are the snake. Why? They are looking for ways to create more heresy. And just like it's written in the book of Jeremiah chapter 4, Chachamim ema le'ara, these wise among the wicked, even le'tiv lo yadau, even if they try to do good with their wisdom, they simply can't. Such is their wickedness. Rabbi Nachman of Breslov, not only acknowledging that there are wicked among the people, even inside a Bet Knesset sometimes, but there are such in the world among the Jews and non-Jews that you're simply not allowed to help, and you have to do everything you can to avoid them like you would avoid the Black Plague. This, Rabotai, is critical for every Breslover, every Hasid, every Jew. Every person on earth needs to know this. Why? This is the truth. You cannot help everybody. You have to pick and choose. And now that we're in a time of Mashiach, there's not enough time. There's not enough time to spend time debating people and going back and forth. You got to spend. If he gets it within one lecture, good, continue. If he doesn't get it, we got to move on. I'm sorry, you didn't get it, I'm sorry. Here's another lecture, let me know if you get the next one. I'll send you as many lectures as you want, but I can't handhold you forever. There's not enough time. There's not enough time. Mashiach is around the corner. There's not enough time to spend 3, 4, 5 hours with you. There's not enough time. Oh no, can I have a private lesson? Yes, it's called the Shiur Torah. Every Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. No, can I have one-on-one? Yeah, one-on-one. You're sitting over here, I'm sitting over here. We learn one-on-one. Yeah, but there's other people there, so what do you care if they're there? Why, are they bothering you? Were you racist? Were you sexist? What's the matter? What, they're Jews. What's the problem? What's the problem? Why don't you want them there? What, are we dating? What do you want? Why does everybody want one-on-one? What are you going to get one-on-one? I'm speaking, you're learning, that's it. You have a question, you ask. Did I ever tell any of you guys no more questions? What's the problem? Stop making excuses. Stop making excuses. The reality is, Rabotai, people need to understand there's not enough time. There's not enough time. There's simply not enough time to waste time on everybody. You have to pick the best. The best of the best. Sometimes I see people watching a show online. It gets me very excited. I see there's a new person. Never heard of him before. Never saw him before. He's excited. She's excited. They say all types of nice things about me. Compliments. He's this. He's that. Whatever. It's nice. Thank you very much. But the reality is, are you listening to what I say? And then I see them, they watch a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 months, 6 months, and then disappear off the face of the earth. What happened? Korach invited you in. What happened? Where'd you go? Oh, 5 months I was saying things they liked. On the 6th month, they heard one thing they didn't like. So what happened to the fruit soul? What I say, is it fake? Did I make it up? Is it my opinion? It's still Torah, right? So a person needs to know there's only one truth. There's not 500 truths. You cannot help everyone. If I see a person comes to the shurim, he sends letters, he sends emails, he stays in touch, and so on. He asks good questions. He's looking for the truth. He's doing something to actually live the truth. I'll do everything I can to help him. But to go after people and start chasing them and calling them and going after them, what's going on? There's simply not enough time. There's not enough time for me to do it. There's not enough time for anyone to do it. Why? There's too many of us that need help. Too many of us, religious and non-religious, simply are living a lie, thinking it's the truth. And that's also one of the things that Rabbi Nachman says, actually, that I saw it today. Here in Likutei Maharan, Samech Vav. He says, "ופקידות עקרות נעשה על ידי ששומרים, שמעוררים את בני האדם משנתם. כי יש בני אדם שישנים את ימיהם." Because there are some people that are sleeping their whole lives. What do you mean sleeping? How can they sleep? Spiritually sleeping. Spiritually sleeping. How could this be? ואף שנדמה לעולם שהם עובדים את השם ועוסקים בתורה ובתפילה. אף על פי כן כל עבודתם אין להשם יתברך נחת מהם. He says it's actually in their imagination. It's in their imagination that they're serving Hashem Yitbarach and they're dealing with Torah and prayer. But in reality, their service is not giving Hashem any comfort at all. Rabbi Nachman of Breslov is saying that some of us are sleepwalking, thinking we're religious. Thinking we're religious. So here we have learned that it's not all fun and games all the time. It's not all fun and games all the time.